Okay, we have beautiful energy surrounding us today. Our intuition is strong, and this is the kind of day where we have that aha moment, that revelation, that clarity comes in. Or maybe we could actually see a glimpse of our future. We may also experience a need for change and transformation, but the sun and the moon are kind of working against us on that. It's providing us with a very uh, strong need for predictability. So we have to go with the flow here. We have to be open to the new and different to capitalize on the energy today. So this is where free will comes in. So let's just sit back, relax. Let's explore the cosmic energies together. We'll gain an understanding of how to embrace this energy, utilize this energy, and move forward today and every day. Hi, I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thank you for being here, and thank you for all the positive, loving support you send me each and every day. I send it right back to you. Welcome to your daily focus for February the 15th, 2024, and we'll dive right into the numerology. We have the 15 energy today. The 15 energy, and I've been speaking about it a lot lately within the weeklies and within the last couple of days, the phoenix rising out of the ashes. The 15 energy is about allowing what no longer serves us, what no longer works, what does no longer has value in our life, to allow it to fall away into the fires and burn to ash. And we arise. We rebirth. We start anew. We start that new chapter about ourselves. We allow the transformation to begin as we become the phoenix rising out of the ashes. 1 plus 5 is the 6. We're looking at our habits, our behaviors, what works, what doesn't. And maybe replacing some of our habits and behaviors with new habits and behaviors that will work successfully for us going forward in our paths. I always tell people, like, look at your best life ever, and do you see a person standing there that procrastinates? Probably you don't. So there's the one thing that you can start working on today to get a step closer to that best life ever is by giving yourself time limits. And I put out a whole series. It was a big one on Patreon. So if you're on Patreon, do a little bit of digging and see if you can find that course that I put out for all of you on procrastination, on how to overcome procrastination, on how to set your goals and stay with them and become very successful going forward. I'll see if I can dig that up for, if anybody's interested, let me know and I'll do the work to find it for you all. Now, if we look at the daily numerology, it'd be a 2 plus a 6 plus an 8, and that is a 16, and that is awakenings. We see something for the very first time. Or something leaves our life completely. Our apple cart is upset. We can no longer go in that direction. We have to forge a new path, perhaps. We have to bring in new knowledge, new understanding, new realizations into the picture. The 16 energy is understanding where you have wanted to go forward, but have never actually stepped in that direction. Or maybe you stepped once and you failed, and so you don't want to try it again. Everybody told you that it wasn't a good idea, and then you went and it didn't happen, so they must have been right. It was really just their opinion, okay? If you have that desire burning in your heart, this is a time. This is a beautiful time to break through that glass ceiling, to understand what limitations are in place right now. And did you put them into place? Did you allow other people to put them into place? Maybe it's about regaining your power. Maybe, 1 plus 6 is a 7. It's just standing in your truth. Being honest and true about your likes, your beliefs, what inspires you, what fills you with motivation, what you want to create, invent, birth. Okay, as far as the astrology goes, our sun is in Aquarius and our moon is in Taurus. So they're both fixed energy. Aquarius is an air sign and Taurus is earth, I believe. I don't know, I have my Valentine's Day card there in my way. Yeah, earth. Paul, I woke up to roses from my son. sitting in my office because he knows when I wake up, I let the dogs out, I get my coffee brewing while the dogs are out playing. I come in, I snatch my coffee, and first thing I do is I check on you guys. Did the video go up right? Are you liking it? That's my first stop for the day. So so there were my roses. So I got to you a little bit later than I should have. Roses and a card. He's such a great son. Oh my goodness. Anyways, back to you. Okay, I got carried away there. Now, sun is in Aquarius, moon is in Taurus. They're both fixed signs. That's where we were, right? One is air energy, so it's more about the mind, and one is earth energy, which grounds us in our five senses. And both of those signs are fixed. So when we have fixed energy, we want the predictability. Okay, now let's not jump ahead of ourselves though. Let's go through it in order. First of all, the sun is going to sextile Neptune. So this is where we can glimpse the future. Pay attention to your dreams, your thoughts, what's catching your eye, perhaps what you might hear. We can tap into some very valuable insights about ourselves today, about others today, and perhaps even the future today. We can be very imaginative and very creative. Now, Mercury will be sextiling Chiron and the North Node today. So it's a strong time to have those healthy dialogues you need. Where you need to have those conversations, this is the time when you can have that healthy dialogue. We walk into the dialogues with almost a holistic kind of energy about us. We're very good at problem solving right now. That's heightened within us. And we could also have conversations with people, maybe one person, maybe many people, or maybe you come across some information that gives you the same thing. But it opens up opportunities to grow, to improve, to move forward. You get inspired in some way today. Now, as I was saying, Aquarius and Taurus, both fixed signs, so we want the tried and true. We do not invite in change very easily, and we want predictability, but we need to open up to ideas and change and transformation if we want to be successful with this energy. So if you put on the brakes on something, then ask yourself why you're putting on the brakes. Is it because you feel comfortable here? Maybe things aren't the greatest, but they're not the worst either, so you're comfortable. Because that is about 80% of the times the entire reason why you're not taking a chance on yourself, of why you're not throwing those doors wide open and flying through. Okay, let's go and see what the cards reveal for us. Now, if you are admiring my painting in the background, as I do, I did do a 1 or 2 minute clip at the very end of yesterday's video. Got you a close up, told you a little bit about the artist himself and the painting, how it originated. It is signed by him. It's just such a treasure, and they're getting a little bit upset with me here. Oh, I'm pretty sure that floor was a lot closer before. Look at this. We're filled with conviction here. We want to go forward. We want to step in new arenas. We want to go forward. We want to step into something, and we have the strong conviction to do just that. Now, it could be relationships. It could be a better, healthy lifestyle. It could be work and career. It could be relationships. It could be something within the community that you're working towards. But there's some kind of conviction that comes bubbling up from within today. And this is throughout the entire day. So it could be in several aspects of our world today, not just one little area, where we're going to stand our ground. We're going to stand in our truth. We know what we want to do. Maybe not how to do it yet, but we know what we want to do. We have the Knight of Pentacles, and this is trusting. This is trusting in God, our angels, or the universe, our guides. That all we need to do is show up and the rest will be provided. And I've been doing these readings and I've been playing with the tarot cards for 40 plus years. Okay, I was just a wee thing. I was a teenager, and I got my first job and my first paycheck, and I went out and I went to a bookstore because I was like, oh my gosh, I still read like tons of books today. I've always been a reader. And so I went to the bookstore and I saw this little deck of tarot cards with a book saying learn the tarot, and so I bought it. It was on the discount pile. I mean, I couldn't go wrong. And I took it home and I read the book from cover to cover. It gave me a little brief outline of where tarot originated, which nobody really knows, but we all guess at it. And some strong and heavily fact-based approaches have been made on that, but we still don't know exactly when. But then it gave me a few different card layouts I could do. And then it gave me like a little Reader's Digest version of each card. Like it was like, the Fool. And it had like maybe 2 or 3 sentences to it. And then as you got into just the regular cards, like, 2 to 9, it was just like one sentence or a couple of words. But at the end of the book, it said, you are now a tarot card reader. And I was like 14. So 13, 14. So I was very naive and I thought I'm a tarot card reader. Wow. And so I never, where many tarot card readers, especially when you start later in life, you don't really believe in your strength and your talent of being able to pick up a card and tell somebody. And when it happens, you get all like, oh my gosh, I was so dead. Well, of course you were. Okay. I just never had that doubt. The book said I was a tarot card reader. And really, the amount of people who have come back to me and said I was off, extremely few and far between. And I'm not saying that to boast. I'm very humbled by that, actually. Every time I worry so much that I'm going to be able to bring in the message that you need. And it seems like I do it very consistently. Because I've always believed that what the card was showing me is the truth. And here we need to be aware that there is an energy capable of taking care of us, of moving us forward. I think that's where the story I was going to go with, of how many times this has happened to me in my life. And if you look back and you thought there is no way out of this, there's no way forward. I'm going to crumble. My integrity is going to be gone. They're not going to love me anymore. We thought all these horrible thoughts, and guess what? It didn't happen. Somehow, everything got diverted away. And we remain strong and capable for our next challenge and our next battle. Here we have a knight going down the road. He has nothing. He doesn't have any food packed. He doesn't have a water canteen. He definitely doesn't have his armor on. He definitely doesn't have a weapon. He doesn't even have reins for that horse. He believes that so long as he goes forward and he keeps in his front of mind the abundance he wants to walk towards, just keep showing up, just being consistent, that it will be rightfully his. There won't be any need for armor or weapons. And if we need food, it'll be provided along the way. We have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands. I always call this play nicely with others card. We have to respect what everybody brings to the table. We have to give everybody their 5 minutes of fame and fortune. But we also need to show up and do the same. We also need to show up and say, this is what I bring to the table. This is a time when we need to boast about ourselves a little bit more while allowing other people to boast about themselves, and bringing that energy together, perhaps, and bringing that success together. Maybe it's some kind of business venture or some kind of team or project you're working on at work, within the community, within the home, wherever it might be. But knowing that everybody can play a vital part and everybody is unique and different. And so when we open up and embrace that diversity, we can create something so much bigger than life itself. And then we have the Two of Wands back again saying summon in what you want. Tell them and then expect it to be or better. You expect it to be as you see it in your mind or better. And then show up, of course. But here we are summoning in our tomorrows. The things that we want to make reality. The things that we want to make tangible. We've cleared the area around us. There's more than enough room and space. So, if it's a time factor thing or an energy, maybe it's resources for you where you can't, you feel you can't go forward because you lack the time or the energy or the resources, whatever it might be for you. Know that you really don't. You just have to realign some things in your life. So maybe it's waking up earlier, maybe it's staying up later, maybe it's utilizing those 15-minute coffee breaks. Maybe it is doing something while you're driving to work. For the longest time, at one point in my working career, I had to drive an hour each way. One way there and one way back. So I started listening to audio tapes. I started listening to, all the books. Not one of them is coming to my head right now. So we're just going to bypass all the books I've read. I can't believe not one of them. They're all like, books that, you probably all own on your book stands as well. By the great authors teaching us different things and teaching us no. So I became a student in my car during that time, because while I was driving for that hour each way, I could take in, and so I took little courses online at that time, grew my knowledge base. So, and then I didn't have to worry if I had the energy or the time, because I didn't need it, because I was utilizing that time. And so sometimes we just have to think outside the box. Sometimes we just have to rearrange our schedule in some way. Fit something in and take something out. Maybe it's our spending habits. Maybe it's our relationship with money. What's the first thing you do when you get money? Do you buy something for yourself that you've been wanting? Good for you. Did you go to a local charity and make some kind of monetary contribution, or go to the grocery store and just buy a big bin of food for the shelter, or maybe you went and bought 5 blankets that were on sale, and dropped them off? Whatever it might be for you. We didn't pick a card, and yet I've got the book. The card is pause. The 4 energy is here. Pause. We are all in kind of a little bit of a holding pattern, and it doesn't help that our sun and moon are in fixed energy today for us. And we have been dealing with the sun in Aquarius, which is fixed energy. We have been dealing with Mercury in Aquarius, which is fixed energy. Pluto. Neptune's coming. Mars has just moved in. It is the party of the Aquarian, I tell you. They're all there. Pause. Take a moment to access what's really going on. I'm going to try and get this nice and clear for you. There we go. Okay. Take a moment to assess. Take a moment to assess what's really going on in this time. You are holding on to control and not allowing many wonderful blessings to come into your life. Grant yourself an opportunity to get into the sunshine. You deserve to receive this new prospect. Resistance can create unnecessary blocks. Interference can be caused by a multitude of energies, including your own attitude and other people, the weather, and so on. Create the opportunity to regroup and don't feel the need to fight what is happening. It's a waste of energy. Find something else to do and wait until there is a better flow to finish the task at hand. The willingness to try and do something new is all that is needed to create something wonderful. Well, that really goes into the reading, right? Because it talks about the pause, but it also talks about how we really need to act on it. And we can think all day, but unless we act on it, unless we put action behind it. If you want to win the lottery, then you got to go buy the ticket, right? Okay, our animal for today is the butterfly, the rebirth. I tell you, it's the phoenix rising out of the ashes. It has been so apparent over the last several days. And it was kind of sneaking in there. If you remember, we had a lot of the 16 energy. We had a lot of the 15 energy. We had a lot of the phoenix rising. We had a lot of awakening and breaking through the glass ceilings. And now it just seems to be heating up this energy. Oh, let's do that. Oh, I must have touched something there. My nails aren't pretty after all. So sorry, I'll fix that. I tried. You can reinvent yourself. Open to the rewards of change. You have a brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. So know that you can reinvent yourself. It's being shouted from the mountaintops to us. This is a time to reinvent yourself just by saying, I am somebody new. I am somebody different. I used to be that person yesterday, yes, but I'm no longer that person. Today, I'm a person that goes forward in this way. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.